I'm 7 years old, and this is my first day of school. And I am so excited. Nervous, but I'm really excited. And my mom, she bought me a new green jumper, and I have a white Peter Pan blouse with long sleeves on, and she put my hair in pigtails, and I have these white lace socks. They're so beautiful. And these black patent leather shoes. I just love them. So this was in 1946. This was right after the war. And Mommy and Daddy, they never spoke anything about the war in the house. So, I was just this fun, happy-go-lucky kid, and I was all excited about going to school. So I was all ready to go, and Mom and I walked to school, and it was just maybe 15 minutes away, and we lived in this place called Lynn, Massachusetts, in New England. And we go and we get to the school, and it's brick at school, and the only thing I didn't like was they had this great big playground, but it was like all of this wired fence that was all around the playground with black tar, and the whole playground was facing the main street, Lewis Street. Anyway, we get to the front steps, and there's a photographer there, and the photographer said, "Can I take a picture of your daughter? And it's going to be on the front page of the Lynn Daily Item the next day." And of course my mom said yes. And guess what? It was. I was on, stepping up, in my new outfit, my first day of school. There I was on the front page of the Lynn Daily Item. Anyway, Mom and I go up the stairs, and we walk down the hall, and then we walk to where I was supposed to see my new teacher, Miss Dukas. And I almost forgot about my mom because Miss Dukas was so sweet. She was just so nice. And I felt really secure. And finally, my mom spoke to Miss Dukas, and I spoke to Miss Dukas, and then I went into the room, and I took my seat, and Mama left, and Mom was going to pick me up at 3 o'clock at school. So everything was going neat, and I was just having the best time. I was just really a happy kid. So it's 10 o'clock. I see the recess bell. Recess, you get to go outside. You get to play. You get to be outdoors and play with my friends and everything. So there we are in the schoolyard, and we're all playing. And we're having a great time. And then all of a sudden, this older boy, he comes walking to me. I had seen him around. He knew me, but I didn't really know him. And he starts walking to me, and he has a blonde crew cut, and he's got a white shirt on with a tie, and he's got these jeans on that are rolled up with white socks and brown shoes. And he walks up to me, and he looks down at me, and he says to me, almost like spitting in my face, "Sherri Goldberg, you are a dirty Jew." Did I smell? Was something on my face? Is something on my jumper? I knew I was Jewish, but nobody ever called me a dirty Jew before. I didn't know what that was. I thought maybe I smelled. So when he said that, I was really scared. And all my friends were just in shock. And I knew his name. His name was David Spinney. And I went back into my class, and I was very nervous. And I just didn't know what I was going to do. And the rest of the school day was very different than when I first came to school. So then when Mom came to pick me up at 3 o'clock, I'm walking home with her. And again, it was a short walk home to school. And I said, Mom, you know, I said, I was playing in the playground and I had such a good time. And then this kid, this David Spinney, he walks up to me and he calls me a dirty Jew. Mom, he called me a dirty Jew. Mom, I can't go to school alone. You gotta please walk to school with me every day and take me back. Please, I'm really scared. And my mom looks at me and she said, "You dirty Jew. No, I can't walk to school and I can't pick you up. I just can't do it. I'm not gonna do it, Sherri." So we get home, and then, you know, later on at night in bed, I can't sleep because I'm wondering, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna get to school? How am I gonna get home without having this kid come after me? He's gonna get me, and I really believe he's gonna get me. And so anyway, I remember my friend, Joy Periker. She lived around the corner on Nickel Street. So the next morning, I went and I picked her up, and I told her what happened. And I said, Joy, will you walk with me to school every morning and walk home with me? And she said, I can walk to school with you, but a lot of times I'm busy at 3 and I have to do stuff with my mom. So I said, okay, at least, you know, we'll get to school together, because I really trusted Joy. But she said to me, why isn't your mama? Why isn't she picking you up? And I said, I don't know, Joy. I don't know, but I need help. I just need help. So anyway, we went to school, and I was, needless to say, was very anxious. And I kept looking at the clock, and then finally it was 3 o'clock, and I waited till everybody left. And then, you know, I opened the front door of the Brickett School, and we were on the main street, and I looked around and went down the stairs. And then I thought, well, there's Mr. Brown across the street. He's such a kind man. He had the candy store across the street. So I crossed over and I went, and I told Mr. Brown what happened, because he was such a kind man. And he said to me, Sherri, you can stay here as long as you want. So I was having a good time, and it was candy, and I was getting chocolate kisses and Tootsie Rolls and Tootsie Pops, and I was having a great time. And then I looked up at the clock, and it's 4 o'clock. I gotta go home. So I said to Mr. Brown, I have to leave. And he said, look, you take care, and you can come back anytime you want. So I open the door, and I look, and then I run down Lewis Street, and then I run down another side street, and I made it home. Nothing happened, and I get to the driveway, and then I go up the driveway, and I go up to the porch, and I knock on the glass door for my mama to let me in. No answer. And I knock again. No answer. And then this time I knock again, and my fist goes right through the glass door. And I had to go to the bathroom so bad, and I just ended up peeing all over the porch. and I was humiliated. My mama wasn't home. And when she came home later, she just got mad at me, for the mess that I made and for breaking the window. So anyway, needless to say, the next morning, pick up Joy, we go to school, and again, we go out for recess at about 10 a.m. And then all of a sudden, David Spinney is outside the wire fence, and he motions to me to come over. And he looks at me, and he says to me, "You're a dirty Jew, Sherri, and I'm gonna get you, and you better watch out." By that time, I was totally terrified. And I went into school, and all I could think about was 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock came, I let everybody go home. I went into Mr. Brown's candy store, and then I stayed there for an hour, and then it was 4 o'clock. And I started running down Lewis Street, and this time I decided to go down Nickel Street. And I'm not too far from my home. And I run down Nickel Street, and I'm just terrified. I have to get home. And all of a sudden, I could feel these cans, empty food cans, being thrown at me, and scraps of food being thrown at me. And I was really having a panic attack. I didn't know how I was going to make it home. And I was really scared. And for some reason, I got to my driveway, and for some reason, David Spinney, once he got to the house, he wouldn't come any closer. He would just run away. So I ran in the driveway, and something happened. I lifted my hand, and I said, "If I ever grow up and have a family of my own, I will always love and protect them and always take care of them. And nobody will ever, ever hurt them. Ever, ever, ever. Nobody." Many years later, I had a family of my own, and I was raising 4 boys. And we lived in downtown Brooklyn in Cobble Hill. And we lived on Strong Place, and we were the only Jews on the block. And one day, my boys came home, and they said to me, "Mom, 2 of the kids on the block called us a dirty Jew." It never happened again. Thank you.